Greetings. This is Ndubisi Ekekwe. I just want to make this video largely to provide additional framework on how the Nigerian government can harmonize the national identity number. Over the last few hours, many of us have seen how a massive dislocation has taken place. The government wants the phone telecommunication companies to immediately disconnect people after 2 weeks if they do not update their SIM cards with their NIN number. The NIN number is the number issued by the National Identity Management Commission, the agency responsible for identification, the human identification in Nigeria. So many people may not have this number, and we do believe vividly that 2 weeks certainly cannot just do the job. During the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, this part was extensively discussed within the E-Nigerian design workshop. I had the opportunity of coordinating that with other fellow citizens. So this is what we think that should happen. And it should not be something that will cause massive level of stress to the Nigerian people. There are two options here. The first option, there are people that already have this NIN, and most of them, of course, have phone numbers. What the government can do is essentially to say they have the NIN number, and the telcos, they have database as they register their SIM cards. Simply port from the national identity database to these telcos, and that will quickly, to a large extent, meet the requirements that the government has stipulated. If we do it that way, the implication is that people don't even need to go physically to these telecommunication companies to begin to now update their NIN numbers. Because the biometric is the same with NIN, and it's the same with the telcos, and the names are the same, the database the same. This migration and porting should actually happen at scale without the need of stressing the Nigerian people. Another one, the other option, there are people that don't have this NIN number. And of course, interestingly, they also provided the same data. They are provided to the telecommunication companies, and that is also what we expect them to provide to the national identity number. So what can happen here is that government can just pass a very quick executive order, making the telcos, in addition to the banks, super agents for NIN. In other words, these entities can have the capacity to help to generate this NIN number. So what do I mean? Everything that NIN requires, every information that the National Identity Management Commission requires, the telcos have them when people were registering from their SIM. So why can't the telcos be asked to generate that NIN number? If that is a possibility, what happens is that every person that has registered his SIM card will automatically have a NIN number tomorrow morning. The telcos can make it happen by working with NIN and then figuring out how they can just generate that number to make things order in the system. So if that happens, you can now go to your telecommunication company within 6 months and just collect your NIN. You don't even need to go there and start wasting time. So I do think that the government-wide intention is good, is to see that Nigeria has a very nationalized identification system, cannot necessarily stress its own people by giving them this fiat mandate that within 2 weeks you have to do this compliance. After all, since 2007 or so, we have not been able to make this work. How do we think that we can do this over the next 2 weeks? I must note that when we ran through this section in the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, it wasn't the intention that this thing could happen within 2 weeks. Our intention was that government has to run through this redesign over 6 months. And we can do this thing without any citizen of the nation being stressed. Technology guys can take care of this. Either they port it or they do it the other way around, migrate it, no matter how you do it. But the Nigerian people should not be stressed. So that is what I want to just put down here. We can do this thing without causing a lot of stress to people that are already under high level of stress as a result of the pandemic. Thank you very much.